Tunatarajia nini kwenye bajeti ambayo inatarajiwa kusomwa kuanzia mwendo wa saa 8 pale ama saa 8:30? Wakenya wana yepi ya kutarajia? Jina langu ni Kasichana Masha, mtazamaji. Twende kwako Kamche na Gladys.
Naam, tunakupata kwa njia iliyo shwari mtangazaji wetu hapa katika runinga ya KBC, na bila shaka kama unavyoona ni kwamba tumekita kambi katika bunge la kitaifa kujaribu kufuatilia bajeti ya mwaka huu, ikiwa ni bajeti ya mwaka 2025 mwaka 2026, ikiwa Kamche ni bajeti ambayo ni aina yake, manake imebadilika. Manake mwaka jana bajeti yetu ilikuwa trilioni 3.9 na kwa sasa mtazamaji, bajeti yetu imeongezeka hadi trilioni 4.2. Na kuna mambo ambayo tunatarajia kuyashuhudia leo katika bunge la kitaifa, pale ambapo waziri sijui kama ni mwite mpya, manake amekaa kidogo katika hiyo
karibu anamaliza mwaka,
bado ni waziri mpya, manake hii itakuwa ni bajeti yake ya kwanza kuileta na kuisoma katika bunge la kitaifa. Tunatarajia kwamba itakuwa ni bajeti ya aina yake, manake ni kiongozi ambaye ametoka katika mrengo wa upinzani,
amejulikana kwa muda mrefu
kuja katika serikali kusaidia serikali. Na kwa hivyo basi tunatarajia kwamba inasemekana mtazamaji kwamba hii bajeti punde tu John Mbadi atakapokuwa anatoka katika majengo ya Wizara ya Fedha kuja katika majengo ya bunge, itakuwa ni mbwembwe za aina yake, kuonekana kwamba Kamche anataka kuweka historia jinsi ambavyo atakapowasilisha hii bajeti na pengine yale makadirio atakayokuwa anatoa. Pengine nikupatie nafasi kwako Kamche Menza, matarajio yako kando na kuwa mtazamaji kama Mkenya wa kawaida, pengine matarajio yako kutoka kwa waziri wa fedha hii leo, unatarajia nini?
Matarajio ni kama ya kila Mkenya mwingine, lakini kabla sijataja matarajio yangu ni kwamba bajeti hii tumezungumza na wabunge mbalimbali na hata pia tumeweza kusikia mazungumzo yao ndani ya bunge. Kumbuka mwenyekiti wa kamati ya bajeti Samuel Atandi alipokuwa anawasilisha ile ripoti ya kamati hiyo kuhusiana na ni jinsi gani pesa zilizowekwa katika mipango tofauti tofauti, katika wizara tofauti tofauti na katika sekta tofauti tofauti, wabunge wengi waliunga mkono. Walichokuwa wanasema ni kwamba ni bajeti ambayo imezingatia masuala mengi. Walisema kwamba it's a balanced budget. Kwa balance walikuwa wanamaanisha kwamba sekta ambazo pengine zilikuwa zina utata ama zilikuwa zikipata fedha ya chini zimeweza kuinuliwa. Kuna sekta mpya ambazo zilikuwa zimejitokeza. Ukiangalia kama mpango wa SHA, mpango mpya wa afya wa SHA, kuna mambo kama primary health care, kuna mambo kama chronic diseases, ambao ni mpango mpya ambao imekuwa ambao imehitaji bajeti sasa iweze kushughulikia vizuri. Na kwa nasema ni mipango ama ni sekta ambazo zimeweza kupata fedha ambazo zitaweza kushughulikia masuala ambayo yamekuwa yakitatizika upande wa nyuma. Kwa hivyo kutokana na mazungumzo ama maelezo ya wabunge ambao wamekuwa moja kwa moja na Wizara ya Fedha kuangazia masuala ambayo yanahitaji kupata mgao mkubwa wa fedha, imesemekana kwamba ni bajeti ambayo imeweza kuangazia ama kuangalia sekta ambazo zinahitaji pia zaidi kuweza kushughulikiwa. Usahau pia kuna swala la elimu ambalo pia limetajwa kuwa limeweza kufaidika. Swala la kilimo limewezekana kuwa linafaidika. Kwa hivyo ukiangalia ni masuala ambayo kulingana na wanavyosema ni kwamba ni bajeti ambayo imeweza kugusia kila mmoja.
Na pengine la mwisho mtazamaji ni kwamba waziri John Mbadi amekuwa waziri ambaye akisema kwamba sio waziri anayeamini swala la kuongeza ushuru, na kwa hivyo basi matarajio ya Wakenya wengi hii leo ni kana kwamba waziri atakuwa anatangaza kama kutakuwa na ushuru utakaoongezwa katika sekta mbalimbali, ikilinganishwa kwamba wakati mwingi unapata kwamba sekta kama vile avileo, sigara huwa zinaongezwa ushuru. Kwa hivyo tunatarajia kuona atakuwa sema kwamba kusimama na msimamo wake kwamba hataleta ushuru mpya, ama atakuwa basi anaambia bunge na Wakenya.
Na mtazamaji, kama ulivyoweza kusikia kutoka kwa wanahabari wenza, lakini pia naarifiwa kwamba kuna mengi ambayo yanaendelea kujiri kutoka bunge letu la kitaifa kuhusiana na kesi ya yule kijana aliyefariki katika hali tatanishi Albert Ojwang. Acha nikupeleke hapo mtazamaji.
The other house where you were for a whole day yesterday, you know the powers of this house over you. Why are you coming before us before you take people to court when from your evidence we can see people who can be presented, even just to be held before the conclusion of investigations, and people who could be interfering with evidences outside there from the material you give us? Why have you not taken people to court? And could you assure us before the end of business today, now that you appear before the house that oversights you, and IG, you know our powers over you are not like the powers of where you were yesterday. Can you assure this committee before you leave, that by the end of business today, there will be action from which Kenyans can see that we are not treating the cases of some Kenyans in a different way from others? I thank you, Chair.
So much. IG, I think what Kaluma has raised is very crucial. And just to put it very precisely, is that we have already a list of suspects. I think that's actually to the DCI. What holds you back from having them apprehended, presented to court, and make a plea to courts to allow you more time to conclude the investigation, lest they keep interfering with the investigation? Because that is what has happened to the majority of Kenyans before. Maybe you cannot respond to that one. It's very key. You have already a list of suspects. Why haven't you apprehended them, present them to court, and ask the courts to allow you time to finish investigation? Yeah, they keep having them freely moving around. They may keep interfering with investigation and cover-ups. Let's say this, I respond to that one. It's a very straightforward.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Like you have said, this is a fairly straightforward matter. It's not rocket science. I have my homicide detectives. The main function is to investigate matters relating to homicide. In this particular matter at hand, Honorable Chair, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions issued a directive directing the IPOA to investigate the matter and forward the file to his office for his further police advice. Under the circumstances, Honorable Chair, we may not conduct parallel investigations because already IPOA is investigating this matter. And as you can recall, also there was a High Court ruling giving IPOA the exclusive mandate to investigate matters relating to complaints against police. So that's why, even in some of the obvious questions, we were not comfortable answering them. And if we start our own investigations, by now we'll have been very far, Honorable Chair. But let's leave it for IPOA to.
Will be coming immediately after you.
Then there was the aspect of the documentations, as asked by Honorable Kaluma. The documentations are many, and I would request that we be given time to compile all those documentations.
Interested with that one,
yeah,
so that we don't miss it out. But I think you had made it a point. Kangara, then we go to Okello.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I'll also be
Chair,
very fast.
Chair, just a short follow-up. DCI. The question, Chair,
give him time, yes.
it was just on the same point, so there would be no point, Chair, to repeat, to come back. The question of investigation, I believe the DPP did not instruct you not to carry out the investigation. And according to the law, the National Police Service Act and the Constitution, the Constitution gives IPOA the power to initiate on its own or on direction an investigation. But at the same time, it allows even parallel investigation. And I think there are cases you can confirm which have been done on a parallel basis, especially because you have the capacity to investigate homicide. So I think that bit maybe is something that, as far as this committee is concerned, to get to the truth, it's important you use the power you have to investigate the homicide.
Thank you, Honorable, for that question. We have cases in point, Honorable Chair. Before I was appointed the DCI, I was the Director, Internal Affairs Unit. And the main mandate of the IAU is to investigate complaints against. And we will investigate cases. I remember I investigated a murder allegedly committed by police officers in Kisii. But when we were at the middle of the investigation, the DPP directed that we forward the file to EPOA to take over the investigations. So that is the kind of parallel investigations we are trying to avoid. And for this particular case, it was very clear, in as much as it is a mandate, the DPP directed EPOA to investigate the matter. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, two straight questions, Chair. One is that when Eliud Langat reported the matter to DCI, after your investigations, you arrested one Kevin Moinde, and it is Moinde now who mentioned 4 other people. Can you tell us why you decided, out of the 4 people who were arrested by Moinde, to arrest Albert Ojwang and not the other 3? Can you also tell us at what stage Kevin Moinde was released from custody? The other one, I think probably Masara was talking about the same. This matter was reported on 4th. A team was formed on the same day. You went and got a statement from Eliud the same day. You wrote to CAK the same day. They replied the same day, and the following day you're already in Kisii to do the arrest. Yes, can you tell us why? And that's why I think Masara was asking about the timing, because the events and the following being done in the same day is definitely questionable. The last one is that from the report by the IG, OB number 09/08/06/2025 at 1:39 hours is the OB that released Albert from the police to be taken to Baghdad at 1:39 hours. The same OB, according to DCI, is the OB that reported at 1:35 that Ojwang was kicking walls. But the same OB number, from what you have told us. I'm sure it's in the Hansard. 09/08/06/2025 at 1:35, he was kicking walls in the cells. The same OB in the report that you have given us, 09/08/06/2025 at 1:39, is what released him from the police cells. Can you get a clarification, probably, Chair? And also, because DCI was reading verbatim from the electronic OB, can you also get the OB that now released him from the police cell to be taken to Magadi? Thank you, Chair.
I thank you very much, Chair. I am acting on behalf of the complainant, who is the Member of Parliament representing the deceased. And it is coming at a time when, firstly, is to mention that this death has really attracted the wrath of the entire nation. Coming at a time when the IG himself, in the course of his vetting, undertook to uphold the highest integrity within the police service. And you are actually blunt enough to say that there will be no more abductions and no more wanton killings. When IG, either your office or your officers have already walked back on this promise that you made to the country. Is somebody sabotaging your work, or it is the directive and part of your modus operandi within the police service, or you are taking us back to the police force which the new constitution ran away from? And I've got a few questions. At whose behest was the murder committed? Who was going to benefit from the death of this young person? Because the evidence so far, indicated so far, is that it is the police that perhaps committed the murder, or it was done within the precincts of the police station. So who was going to benefit out of the death
of such an innocent young person. The other question, because I'm acting on behalf of the complainant, we would want to know what action has been taken so far, apart from interdicting police officers who are actually out there doing whatever they can to either subvert justice or to come up with artificial barricades to prevent IPOA from conducting an impartial, comprehensive investigation. Let me not turn tribal, but we all live in this country. What is the nexus between a Mr. Sigei, a Mr. Korir, a Mr. Talam, and the name that keeps on coming up at the DIG, Mr. Talam? What do they share in common? That all these names are all involved into this issue around the death of Albert. Oh, Langat, the DIG. So I want to know what they share in common. And the autopsy has also revealed what killed the young man, contrary to the assertion of the police that he committed suicide. If the police is as white as they would want us to believe, why lie? At the very least, when this matter came up, has the police unit visited the family to commiserate with them and to assure them of an impartial probe over this matter? Or because he's just a 20-something-year-old boy whose father does not attract any national acclaim, it can be let to pass? I want to give credit to the police for a very swift investigation they carried out when we lost our colleague. And in the next 1 day or 2 days, somebody was appearing before the court of law on this matter. Perhaps because he's just a small person. This is the 5th day without any action. The 5th day. And the suspects are known. Their names have been shared publicly. So why? Why the silence at such a critical moment? And again, the CCTV footage, we are told, was deleted, particularly on the times that are under probe. Why would the police delete a CCTV footage if they have no role to play in the death? Why? Those are the questions I'd wanted to ask on behalf of the complainant. I think
very crucial questions. And lastly, because members, we have to finish so that we can allow the rest. I think you did.
Chair, mine, the one I asked was just a follow-up to what you raised, Chair.
Okay, so what do you have
Give
to say?
me just an opportunity to ask one question. Chair, I want to ask the question. Who authorized or gave orders for Ojwang, the late, to be moved from Homa Bay to Nairobi? It's a crucial question if we can clarify. I just want to ask.
I think it's not really, the question should have been, why move him to Nairobi? I think we have our police stations all over the country. Wasn't it enough DIG or DCI to have the suspect, Ojwang or any other, being interrogated in Homa Bay? Wasn't it enough? I think that is...
Chair, the question I asked is who authorized? The why is also another question, but the one I've asked, Chair, is who ordered that the suspect,
sure
because Chair, a question has arisen.
I'm asking,
yes,
because you kind of presume that it must have been the interrogation and the arrest, even should have been in Homa Bay, right?
I agree with you, Chair. The framing may be different. Thank you,
so,
Chair.
your point is, you made your point. Vice Chair? those ones, we should be winding up and try to capture every member's question.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. The issue of who authorized the movement of the late Albert Ojwang from Homa Bay to Nairobi. That movement did not require any authority from anybody. It was just an operational, tactical decision that can be made by any investigating officer. If a person is assaulted for an offense of, or a person is arrested for an offense of assault in Garissa, and that person is supposed to be moved to Nairobi, the IO will not require any authority from anybody. Our standing orders are very, very clear. Our guides to investigations are very, very clear. So, Honorable Chair, these are just tactical issues that does not require any specific instructions. We were treating the issue of the late Albert Ojwang just like any other. Actually, it was just, I even learned of his arrest the following day when I heard his father was dead. Yeah.
To add on that one, didn't you have facilities in Homa Bay to have him recorded, interrogated there?
Correct. Yeah, but it was not all about interrogation. It was all about arresting and processing him before court. And Honorable Chair, the complaint was made here in Nairobi. Yeah, so that is why. In terms of the efficiency and the speed at which we handle this matter, I really liked the observation by the Honorable member there that it took us almost 3 days to investigate the murder of Honorable Charles Were. And we're very efficient. And we were able to apprehend all the suspects. And we used the same speed, the same zeal, and the same efficiency to make sure that these other culprits are also arrested. So, yeah, so I think that somehow answers your question. So.
Madam Chair, is he confirming that the suspects have been arrested? Are you saying that the suspects over Ojwang's murder have been arrested, or you are talking about Ongondo Were's?
No, the question was about what was the agency about expediting the DIG Langard's case. And what I'm saying is, and like I said, there wasn't any preferential treatment. The same energy, the same efficiency that we used to investigate the late Honorable Were's murder case is the same speed that we have used to investigate the complaint of cyber made to us by the DIG KPS. And like I said, Honorable Chair, it's not the first time that the DCI is expediting cases. We have resolved several other cases, similar cases in the past with the same speed. So, and that of DIG Lagat is one among the many statistics and the cases that the DCI was able to resolve expeditiously. Thank you.
When the other three are still...
Go on. Okello's question, try to do it under 2 minutes, then Kangara. I think Kangara was it was the issue of time again. There will be. And I think members, I did ruled that on the issue of OB and the entire sequence, we are going to be provided. It's okay, we'll extract it from the record. They're going to provide the entire record from OB, from the sequence. It will form part of our findings and observation in our report writings. So go on, please. We must be finishing this in 10 minutes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and Honorable members. The questions from Honorable Okello. Why are we still having abductions? So when I was here before this committee, when I was being vetted, I was very, very clear in my mind that I will operate within the frameworks of the law. And let me also state this. I feel a lot of pain for losing that young man. I feel the pain because I'm also a parent. And for that reason, we want those investigations done quickly, and those who have committed the offense to have their time is directed by the laws of this land. On abductions, every case reported to us, to the National Police Service, on missing persons, we investigate them with the same seal. The DCI, as we speak now, he has a team specifically set aside to deal with all the cases of missing cases reported to the National Police Service throughout the Republic of Kenya for whatever reason, including self-abductions. They are all investigated with the same seal. So what I'm trying to say to this honorable committee, honorable chair, the National Police Service will never, at any given time, allow for those abductions, and every case of reported missing person must be investigated to its logical conclusion. However long it takes, we must investigate to its logical conclusion. That is what I would like to report to this committee and the promise to the people of Kenya. There was this question on why was this particular murder committed. And number two, who is it that was going to benefit on the scene? Or simply, what was the motive? This subject matter is currently being investigated by Apple so that they can tell us why was this murder committed, or what was the motive of doing this. All of us here, the people of Kenya, including these committee members, we are all looking forward to getting those answers, and I am sure at the end of the day they are going to come out very, very, very clear.
I asked about visiting the family to commiserate with them.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and Honorable members. That is something that we had already planned to do this afternoon. And if we could have been through this, I had my team. We have already, sent our message of condolences to the family. And I have said, all of us here, we are parents, and we feel the pains. We feel that pain that the parent is feeling. For that reason, we'll also be together with them and condole with the family, because we are part of this society, and we feel the loss. So, thank you very much here. That is what we would like to submit.
Thank you very much, Chairman. IG, I believe you are before this committee because we oversight you, both to look after the police and also to make Kenya a safe place. And in this particular case, the issue of Albert Ojwang is a person who died when he was the guest of the state, which should never have happened. And what we must discourage all of those who are under you is this thing of blue code of silence. When a crime is committed, it is a crime. We cannot look the other way. Imagine Albert could have been my son or your son, or any of you uniformed officers' sons, and we would have felt the same pain, or even more. So I have just about 3 questions. The first one is, what was the instruction to the arresting officers who were sent to Homa Bay? And was there a warrant of arrest? The second question is the idea of Mr. Talam accepting over the phone for a suspect to be incarcerated in his cells. Is it normal? Or it should be in a way that if it's that particular suspect is both physically and mentally stable to allow him in his cells? My third question is, after the autopsy, we now know that this young man met his death through a head injury, neck pressure, strangulation, multiple superficial injuries. This committee gives money to DCI for homicide investigation so that those who are culpable are brought before the court of law. And if you tell us we have given it to IPOA, are you not telling us that we should actually give that money to IPOA, not yourselves? My final question is on this issue of Central Police. Central Police is at the heart of the city of Nairobi, with a population going to 5-6 million. And it is the most important station in Kenya. Why do we have a chief inspector who runs the Central Police? Yet all other officers in Nairobi, you'll find the IG, the DIG, all the senior officers are in Nairobi. For him to be able to not take instruction from any other person it means the the OCS in Nairobi must be senior enough to even reject orders that come from in any direction which he or she believes that it is unlawful or he's not comfortable. So are you thinking about that Central Police in terms of command and control? Thank you, Chairman.
Respond to those ones. I think I did make a ruling on the issue of the missing gaps or the gray area on the OB and the sequence.
About OB asked 4 questions, and none of them was answered. They should have the questions.
Which ones?
Sorry?
Which ones?
I asked even when Kevin was released from prison, the Moinde person, did not get that kind of an answer. Huh? Right? Yes, I talked about the OB.
But I don't know. I think I said on the issue of the sequence, they will provide what they have. On what is missing, it's
Kenyans are watching, Chair. They should just be able to answer these questions. Yes.
Let me put
just
this
a straightforward.
This is a straightforward question, Honorable Chair. Like I said, we'll be able to share with the committee all the documentations relating to the complaint filed by the DIG KPS, the OB entry relating to the arrest of Muinde and the release of Muinde, that's escaping, the OB entry relating to the arrest of the late Albert Ojwang, all the way from Homa Bay, and the entry here, and all the other relevant documentations we are going to avail.
To the last questions?
While there, while on the question of what were the instructions given to the officers who proceeded to Homa Bay, the TOR was very clear that the complaint has been filed by a complainant, and their mandate is to investigate the complaint and take appropriate action. Those are basically the instructions given to the officers. As to whether there was a warrant of arrest, the typology of the offense that we are dealing with does not fall under that category, Honorable Chair. It is a cognizable offense. Cognizable offenses are offenses where a police officer can arrest a person without a warrant, and the police are also empowered to investigate. So it was a cognizable offense. As regards the homicide, yes, we have a very, very vibrant, robust, and efficient Directorate of Homicide within the National Police Service. And the public can attest to it for the cases that they investigated. They were able to investigate those cases very, very professionally and apprehended the killers. They were involved in the investigation of the late Honorable Were's matter and several other high-profile cases. Note that, Honorable Chair, we don't have the capacity. We have the capacity. We have the willpower. We are willing to investigate, even if directed today. But somehow, when it comes to deaths of prisoners in police custody, and in order to avoid conflict of interest, the ODPP had in its own wisdom directed that this particular case relating to Albert Ojwang be investigated by the Independent Police Oversight Authority. And Honorable Chair, I've also cited the ruling, High Court ruling recently, stating very clearly that all cases involving complaints against police officers, even the Internal Affairs Unit, cannot investigate. And these were issues we have been discussing very, very seriously. That particular ruling, how does it place even the DCI and even the functions of the National Police Service? An order barring us from investigating complaints against police. If a police officer today commits an act of forgery, does it mean the DCI cannot investigate that case. So these are small issues that I'm sure we'll be able to surmount. But like I said, we have the capacity and the capability to investigate this particular case with a lot of efficiency. But due to the reasons cited on board chair, we will rather allow the IPOA to continue with that investigation. But we shall support them where they feel that they want any support from the Homicide Department or the DCI. We are ready and willing to support them anytime. Thank you.
Now that brings me to the very first question about the role and of the internal affairs units, and I've seen them in. Maybe they can just add a voice. Have you done anything so far to this end in regards to what is under investigation?
Thank you, Honorable Chair, honorable members. Just like the DCI has said, we wish to comply with first the High Court ruling and the directive by the DPP to have IPOA investigate this matter. However, on the evolution of the unit can come in and investigate. The findings and recommendations are usually forwarded to the Office of Inspector General, and the recommendations may touch on the crime committed or the misconduct of the police officer. And
give us on the mandate. We're asking, in this particular case, have you played any role to this end?
So far, not yet.
Chair. So you have delegated all roles to IPOA?
Chair.
Okay.
Chair, can IPOA secure scene of crime? If the police officer are not involved, who is securing the scene of crime? That cell where there was blood, who is securing it? IPOA doesn't have a cell. They are outsiders to the police station. Who is securing
a point of order, Chair. We have to, members, close this. We have IPOA coming in, and we have to write a report. So, members, kindly, I think we have gathered enough, at least to guide us. So just finish.
Chair. Chair.
Members, please.
Chair, it was not a question, Chair. It's just a very interesting situation, Chair. What you've asked about the Internal Affairs Unit and now the court order, does that mean now the Internal Affairs Unit should be disbanded because they can't do anything?
Please, members, your last response and remarks, so that I guide on what we are going to do.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, honorable members. As the DCI has said, we have got the willpower, the capacity, and what it takes to investigate all criminal cases. However, on this one, there is that direction because highly suspected that police might have committed that offense. Then the IPOA to
investigate the suspects and the victims.
Yes. Then on the Central Police Station issue, why is it that Central Police Station is, in terms of command and control, is the Chief Inspector? Now, Honorable Chair, in all our stations, if you look at the command and control hierarchy, police stations, Chief Inspector, its peculiarities. But all of them are within hard reach. So meaning, the OCS must do what belongs to the OCS because it is in black and white and it is well guided. If he has any problem, he will consult his superior, who is in this case the divisional commander, and so forth and so forth. If there are major issues, and so forth and so forth. If there are major issues, the regional police commander is also there to be consulted. How it is, and the OCS has actually been doing its work as required.
Yes. Wind up.
Honorable Chair. The question raised as to the processing of the scene, the power regulations allow the officer commanding police station to secure the scene before they come and undertake over. As regards the instructions, I want to make this very clear, Honorable Chair, that the officer commanding police station, Central Police Station, was not given any instructions from any quarters. He was only notified as a matter of procedure, but not given any instructions to accept a prisoner. Thank you.
Thank you so much, IG and DCI. Members,
Chair, when do they intend to arrest the other people who were mentioned with Albert?
So we have to bring this to a close, and so that we have IPOA come in. So I want to guide us as follows. And one, you provide all the documents that you've been making reference to, or of course reading, to include, and not limited to the digital OB, the report from Mbagathi Hospital. Yeah. And you're whispering. So I've said the OB digital, the one actually we have been making a lot of reference to, the Mbagathi Hospital report, the doctor's report regarding the death of the late the Albert, and in the issue, of course, also the report. There is the one you had already provided earlier. I'm giving blow by blow on the sequence of events until the victim was brought to the cells. We need to provide that, and of course, in case of any further information that we may require from you, you should be ready to provide as soon as possible. And I think that is what we can also go and you had promised Kenyans and promised us that you're going to cooperate with the IPOA. And IG, I should make this one very clear. I mean, I think Kenyans have spoken. Our constitution is very clear. And even the president, on several occasions, including even yesterday, made it very clear that the issue of extrajudicial killing is not anything that we are going to condone in any way. And this should be very clear and loud. And under our watch, we are not going to allow it to happen. And you took an oath. It's this committee that did interview. And we are so categorical and very specific on this issue. We have the law, a supreme law of the land. And it's very clear on the procedures of any suspect on how they should be handled. So, and we are a country that is governed by laws. So we are going to release you. Our team is going to contact you in case of any clarification that we need. So thank you so much. Maybe you can say a word and we allow you to leave. But hand over the reports, all the files. Yes.
Thank you very much, Chair, Honorable Chair, and honorable members. Let me take this opportunity to, first of all, congratulate the committee for actually assembling so that we can be able to tell the Kenyans about this issue. Number two, as I've said there before, I'm looking forward to the conclusion of this matter by getting those who did commit the heinous act of murder against one Albert Ojwang. And number three, we are ready to provide all the necessary documents to enable this committee also compile your reports. With those few remarks, I say thank you, Shawana Bashir.
Thank you so much. You are free to leave. And Sergeant, you prepare the report to come in.